It's not typical dance music or electronic music. It's sort of, in my mind or to my ears, it's a combination of the electronic sounds, but also genuine melodic music. Ghostland Observatory, I think, better than anybody else represents Austin music today. They're young, they're not afraid to experiment with different sounds and different combinations, and they also represent new music today, period, not just in Austin. They're doing things their own way. This is kind of a radical departure from the way the music business or music industry have operated in the past. They release their own records, they manage their own business, their own careers, and they make their own decisions.
We didn't really focus on where it was going to go. We were more going from just the love that we had for creating Ghostland Observatory, and it naturally spawned off and took off for itself, you know.
We really try to make music that you're not going to hear every day, or you're not going to hear on the radio, or you're not going to hear at every club in town. There's no like crazy marketing schemes. People have to go to our shows to see what it is, or a friend has to tell them about it. So in a way, I guess it still is underground.
Comparatively, there aren't a lot of electronic or dance bands or artists in Texas as there are in other places.
What turns me on is like the new jam, you know, like something that's fresh, something that's new. It's just hours of figuring it out, you know, like on your own, basically. You know, analog sine waves are creating sounds, and combined with the sequencer.
Aaron's stage presence as the singer, the quality of the songs, and then just their live presentation, their live performance are the three things that I think stood out the most to me.
I've always loved the stage and always wanted to perform and stuff like that. And I think Thomas really helped me to really go after everything, you know, when I got on stage and just lose it all, you know, because I think, you know, he saw something in me I didn't see at the time. I was born in San Saba, Texas. So, you know, we had a farm, shoot guns and fish and, you know, run and play like a crazy small town kid would. It was a great town, and my mom worked at a Western wear store, Harry's department store in San Saba, Texas, which sells boots and pearl snap shirts and everything, you know. So I spent a lot of my time running around there. But I always had a knack for entertaining, you know. I always loved making my friends laugh. You know, if you probably ask any of my friends I grew up with, they probably think I was going to be a comedian when I got older. Because, you know, I'd always make them laugh, and I loved entertaining. I always loved being on stage in front of them. I moved to Austin after graduating high school. And I just knew what I wanted to come do. You know, I wanted to play music, so Austin was the closest and best thing to come play music by. So, but the country is always with me. You know, that's my home. You know, and I always go back to home. I always go back to San Saba, to the country, the farm, to when I need to regather myself, get my spirit back together.
I was born in Fort Stockton, Texas, and I lived there until I was 7. Then I moved to Dallas in high school. Then I moved back to Fort Stockton. That's where I grew up. That's what I always considered home. Yeah, I'm really attached. I think it's a beautiful place. It's a really wide open. Just reminds me of the Old West.
You'd never expect them to do the kind of music that they do, having grown up in a small town in West Texas.
This one time I had shot this armadillo, right? And it started crying, you know, it started squealing. And it tore me to pieces. And from that moment, it was such a moment of sadness that came over me. And I think that's really stuck with me you know, and I was out in a field, I was out in the country, I was out in the middle of nowhere, you know, and with this thing, this death, this energy, you know, that came over me, and it was like this reality. I think that energy, that spirit or whatever it is inside of me. And I feel the same when I perform sometimes, you know, with that energy, that heaviness.
Their music is new in the sense that they've taken different elements and different styles and kind of combined them in a way that maybe nobody else has done yet. It's not like anything anybody else is doing.
We just try to let it be as natural as possible and don't force any other thing into the music.
What you're hearing is the connection, you know, is the frequency of the connection between Thomas and I.
Become a Docublogger. Log on to docubloggers.org to share your opinions and story ideas, or get out your camera and create your own docublog.